South Africa's political landscape has once again been thrown into chaos after a shocking revelation that threatens to shake the very foundations of the African National Congress, ANC. In a dramatic turn of events, whistleblower and former intelligence operative Thabo Mkhwanazi has come forward with what he describes as irrefutable evidence of a multi-billion rand corruption scheme involving none other than President Cyril Ramaphosa and several of the ANC's most senior leaders. According to Mkhwanazi, the plot stretches back years and centers on questionable deals tied to state contracts, energy procurement projects, and alleged offshore accounts controlled by high-ranking officials. In a televised statement that has since gone viral, he claimed that the ANC's top brass systematically looted state resources under the guise of economic reform, while the people of South Africa were left to struggle with rolling blackouts, soaring unemployment, and declining public trust. "This is bigger than failure, bigger than state capture," Mkhwanazi said. "What I have seen, what I hold in my hands, are documents, emails, and recordings that show the president himself signed off on deals that diverted billions away from the public purse." The allegations immediately sent shockwaves through both political and economic circles. Opposition parties pounced on the revelations, demanding Ramaphosa's resignation and calling for an urgent independent inquiry. John Steenhuisen of the DA declared, "If these claims are true, this is the final nail in the ANC's coffin. The president cannot remain in office one day longer." Julius Malema of the EFF went even further, warning that the streets will decide the future if Parliament fails to act. For the ANC, the timing could not be worse. Already grappling with internal divisions, plummeting public support, and accusations of mismanagement, the ruling party now finds itself embroiled in what many are calling the most explosive corruption scandal since the Zuma era. Factions within the party have begun to openly point fingers. Some loyalists have rallied behind Ramaphosa, describing the exposé as a politically motivated attempt to destabilize the government. Others, particularly those aligned with disgruntled factions sidelined by Ramaphosa's leadership, see it as the long-awaited proof of betrayal at the highest level. Mkhwanazi's claims reportedly include details of secret meetings in Dubai, where agreements were made to funnel state funds into private business ventures, as well as encrypted communications allegedly implicating ministers close to Ramaphosa. He insists he is prepared to release the documents to both local and international watchdogs if South Africa's institutions fail to act. Legal experts warn that if the allegations prove credible, Ramaphosa could face not only impeachment but also criminal prosecution under both local and international anti-corruption laws. Already, there are whispers that foreign agencies may take an interest, given the alleged involvement of offshore banking networks and multinational companies. Inside the ANC headquarters at Luthuli House, panic and silence appear to dominate. Sources suggest emergency meetings have been called to discuss damage control, with some leaders arguing for a public show of unity, while others quietly lobby for Ramaphosa to step down to save what remains of the party's reputation. South Africans, weary of decades of corruption scandals, are reacting with a mix of anger and exhaustion. Social media has erupted with calls for accountability, with hashtags like #RamaphosaMustFall and #ANCExposed trending nationwide. Civil society organizations have announced plans for mass protests, warning that the time for patience has run out. As the country waits for further revelations, one thing is clear: the ANC is facing an existential crisis. What was once the liberation movement that ushered South Africa into democracy is now fighting for its very survival, entangled in scandals that threaten to erase its legacy. Mkhwanazi, for his part, remains defiant. "They will try to discredit me, to silence me, perhaps even to destroy me," he warned. But the truth is out, and no amount of intimidation will bury it again. If his allegations hold weight, the fallout could be catastrophic, not only for Ramaphosa's presidency but for the ANC as a whole. With national elections on the horizon and public trust at an all-time low, the ruling party may be staring at the possibility of losing its grip on power for the first time in South Africa's democratic history. The coming days promise to be some of the most turbulent in the country's recent memory. The nation waits, holding its breath, as the drama unfolds.